For the first time since the show was simulcast on the streaming platform earlier this year, we now have viewership information for AEW Dynamite on Max. We'll let you know all of the details on this, just how many people are tuning in on the streaming service as well as on TBS every Wednesday. Karrion Kross reportedly, his contract with WWE is set to expire this summer. We have the ratings for Friday's edition of SmackDown on USA Network from London, England. Logan Paul versus AJ Styles is now official for WrestleMania 41. MJF has his say on WWE referencing AEW on television recently. An update on Drew McIntyre's original creative plans after being moved to SmackDown. The hosts for the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony have been confirmed, and several matches and segments have been confirmed for next week's edition of Monday Night Raw. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with some information, finally, regarding the viewership numbers for AEW on Max. Now, All Elite Wrestling, according to a brand new report from SE Scoop's BJ Bethel, is suggesting that AEW is averaging around 500,000 viewers for its Wednesday Dynamite show on the Max streaming platform since the show debuted on the app this year, according to sources SE Scoops is reporting. Now, combined with live cable numbers, this would give Dynamite an average of around 1 to 1.2 million viewers per episode since it was added to the streaming service. Now, as noted, there's large deviations week to week, which of course affects total streaming minutes. But according to sources that SE Scoops are citing, the show is averaging around 60 million minutes watched per show, with a deviation of plus minus 10 to 20% depending on the episode and competition. Nielsen-style viewership numbers aren't necessarily important to streamers. The minutes watched averages to 500,000 viewers per episode, live plus one, meaning it takes into account viewers who watch live on the app and for 24 hours afterwards. In a February report, CNBC said Max expects to reach 150 million global subscribers by the end of 2026. Estimates from several companies believe Max had around 60 million subscribers in the US this year. Andrew Buchholz of Awful Announcing reported TBS had around 72 million homes in 2023. The number is expected to be lower in 2025 due to downward trends. Late last year, sources with WBD said the company was impressed with AEW's performance on TBS and TNT. The result was a 3-year deal for around $175 to $185 million per year. AEW Pay-Per-View is expected to move to Max once the app has the capability to run pay-per-view shows. Sources said AEW has regularly outperformed some major hockey games on the app. NBA games on Max average around 1.7 to 2 million viewers depending on the matchups and competition. While AEW's success on streaming has been noted by the WBD, the numbers are far from top streaming platforms like Daredevil Born Again and Agatha All Along, which brought in viewers from 7 to 10 million per episode. A source who corroborated the numbers, according to SE Scoops, said he expected AEW to face stronger competition through the spring. The Andor Star Wars series resumes in April, and of course WWE is entering WrestleMania season. Quote, many of the top execs don't know the overall numbers, the source said. Whether it's total minutes watched, viewers who have watched the total show, they can make correlations, but what streamers look for is quite different from what cable or OTA, where numbers are there to satisfy advertisers. So what are your thoughts on around 500,000 viewers every Wednesday for AEW Dynamite, a combined number of 1 to 1.2 million viewers per episode? Does that surprise you? Do you believe these numbers? Do you think this is a success for AEW and for Max? Let me know your thoughts or reaction to all of it in the comments section below. Now, Karrion Kross, he reportedly could have a contract that's set to expire this year. Now, contract news, of course, dominated the headlines in the wrestling world throughout 2024, with various stars in both WWE and All Elite Wrestling having deals that were on the verge of expiring. While that trend has slowed down so far in 2025, some stars are in the final year of their contracts, and Karrion Kross is one of them. Fightful Select's Sean Ross Sapp has confirmed that Kross is in the final year of his current contract with WWE, which is reportedly set to expire at some point over the summer. Both parties have not started negotiations regarding a new deal at the time recording, but those within WWE have been, quote, ecstatic, end quote, with Cross in recent months, primarily for his ability to get himself over on social media and angles that he has been involved in on television. Now, it's not clear yet if Cross's wife Scarlett, who rejoined WWE alongside her husband back in 2022, is also in the final year of her contract, but more details will likely follow in the coming weeks and months. The former NXT champion has had an eventful WWE career so far, dominating NXT during the COVID-19 pandemic. But after his character changed when he was eventually drafted to the main roster, both Cross and Scarlett were released from their contracts in November 2021. They would both be rehired by Triple H the following year after Vince McMahon's initial exit from the company, leading to Cross to make appearances in places like New Japan Pro Wrestling, MLW, and AAA, with all of those companies stating that Cross made a very good impression. Cross was reportedly offered the chance to work a one-off match for AEW in 2022, but he turned that chance down, and the two parties have not been in contact since then. Of course, if we get any more details on Karrion Kross's future, we'll let you know in a future video. Now, let's talk about the ratings for Friday's edition of SmackDown on the USA Network. Programming Insider is reporting that WWE SmackDown drew 1.350 million viewers on USA Network on March 28th. This number is down from the 1.459 million viewers the show drew on March 21st. Friday's episode scored a 0.40 rating in the 18-49 demographic. That's up from the 0.39 rating last Friday. WWE SmackDown ranks second on cable behind the NCAA tournament game between Kentucky and Tennessee on TBS. Ole Miss versus Michigan State drew 6.711 million viewers with a 1.59 demo rating, and Michigan versus Auburn drew 7.336 million viewers with a 1.85 demo rating as well. Now, we knew this coming out of last night's edition of Monday Night Raw, but now it is indeed official. Logan Paul and AJ Styles will officially go one-on-one at WrestleMania 41 after their exchange on WWE Raw. Styles emerged during Raw to say that he has been waiting for Logan Paul to call him out, but grew tired of waiting and decided to get ahead and invite Paul to come out to the ring to confront him. That prompted Paul to come out running down AJ Styles as less famous than him and saying he forgives him for their last interaction at Madison Square Garden in March. Styles then said he forgives Paul for being the worst person to step foot in WWE, admitting that Paul is talented but saying talent will only get him so far. He then challenged Paul right there and then if he wanted it, but Paul said he doesn't fight for free, and if Styles wants the big money match, then he will have to think a little bit bigger. He then got in his face, pointing at the WrestleMania 41 sign before trying to cheap shot his would-be opponents. Styles caught Paul and set him up for a Styles clash, but Paul escaped to take the brawl to the outside. When they got back in the ring, Paul landed a low blow to Styles, followed by the pulverizer, ending the segment standing over him. Later in the show, Adam Pearce announced that Paul and Styles were officially scheduled for a singles match at WrestleMania 41. This will be Paul's fourth consecutive appearance at the show of shows since his debut in 2022, while this will be Styles' ninth overall WrestleMania match since joining WWE. Now, last night on Raw, we saw a couple of references to AEW, and we've seen a few over the last few weeks, haven't we? Now, AEW, they've never been shy about referencing WWE, and WWE has been making more references to AEW as of late, with the most recent example being one of AEW's founding members and former TNT champion and EVP Cody Rhodes reigning as the undisputed WWE champion during last night's edition of Raw. Rhodes and his promo segment opponent John Cena declined to name AEW or its president Tony Khan, but were both heavily referenced in the segment, generating a degree of controversy on social media. One person who took notice was former AEW World Champion Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who weighed in on X. He said, quote, "I truly don't get why fans get up in arms when WWE mentions or references AEW, or when AEW mentions or references WWE," MJF wrote. "If you want to be treated like children, watch Almo, or better yet, tell VKM to start a new promotion." MJF, of course, has made plenty of references to WWE over the course of his AEW career, most notably while teasing the supposed bidding war of 2024 for his services. Nor is this his first reference to VKM, aka Vincent Kennedy McMahon, who was also alluded to without being named during the promo segment between Rhodes and Cena, who has been rumored to be starting a new wrestling promotion. The ousted former chairman and CEO of WWE is still trying to get Janelle Grant's lawsuit sent to arbitration. Former Ring Boys have also filed a lawsuit against McMahon, Linda McMahon, WWE, and TKO, alleging they were aware of the abuse they suffered by former ring announcer Mel Phillips. Now, an interesting update here when it comes to Drew McIntyre and original creative plans for the former WWE Champion on SmackDown. While many fans are expecting a newly healed John Cena to walk out of WrestleMania 41 with the undisputed WWE Championship in hand, especially after a series of promos, including one where he claimed he was going to ruin wrestling, it appears WWE is still setting up contenders for Cody Rhodes. On a recent edition of Wrestling Observer Radio, Bryan Alvarez and Dave Meltzer discussed the opening segment of SmackDown on Friday that saw Rhodes and Randy Orton interrupted by Drew McIntyre. Meltzer explained that the Scottish Warrior was at one point actually on deck to challenge Rhodes. He said, quote, "When Drew McIntyre switched sides and went to SmackDown, it absolutely was to feud with Cody Rhodes over the championship," he said. "But obviously things have changed since that's happened." Meltzer said he thinks the idea is that WWE is telling fans that Rhodes is winning, so there is still a surprise to the match if he doesn't. Or he noted Rhodes could very well actually be winning at WrestleMania. Alvarez said, and Meltzer agreed, that he thinks Cena will lose the championship back to Rhodes, and Rhodes will have challenges that have already been established, like McIntyre. McIntyre made the switch to the blue brand from Raw at the beginning of the year. He looks to be challenging Damian Priest at WrestleMania, though the match has not yet been made official, after the pair of former World Heavyweight Champions reignited their feud at the Royal Rumble when Priest threw McIntyre over the top rope to eliminate him from the match. Now, the hosts for the upcoming WWE Hall of Fame ceremony have now been confirmed. The hosts for the 2025 WWE Hall of Fame ceremony coming up in Las Vegas during WrestleMania weekend have been confirmed. The ceremony is set to take place on Friday, April 18th, a couple of hours after SmackDown goes off the air. Set to be inducted are Triple H as the headliner with Michelle McCool, Lex Luger, and the Natural Disasters. This year will also play host to the first ever Immortal Moment induction, which goes to the WrestleMania 13 match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hitman Hart. Both Austin and Hart will be at the ceremony to receive the induction. During yesterday's March 31st episode of Raw in London, England, WWE confirmed this year's host for the ceremony. Hosting in Las Vegas will be the Raw commentary team of Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. This will notably be the first time since 2018 that Corey Graves is not one of the hosts. Last year's hosts were Graves and Jackie Redmond, with Graves hosting alongside Kayla Braxton in 2023 and 2022, the two of them being joined by Jerry Lawler in 2021, no ceremony taking place in 2020, and Graves hosting with Renee Young/Paquette in 2019. Prior to that, Lawler had hosted on his own every year from 2010 until 2018. And finally, several matches and segments have been confirmed for next week's edition of WWE Monday Night Raw. First, the Women's Intercontinental Championship will be up for grabs as Lyra Valkyria will defend the championship against Bayley. This will be Valkyria's fourth televised defense of the championship. Also, El Grande Americana will return to action, competing in Chad Gable's hometown of Minneapolis. Furthermore, Seth Rollins will make his return to the Red Brand just days ahead of WrestleMania 41. But there you go, guys. That's the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. A huge thank you to all of the recent new subscribers and everyone that's been here since day one. We recently hit 20,000 subscribers. It is unbelievable that I'm even saying that. I really appreciate all of the support. It means so much, and who knows how far we can go in the future, so it's much appreciated. Also, you can join the WN365 roster. Links in the video description below. You can see it right there. You can scan the QR code. You get your badges, your emojis, and your exclusive members-only content. And also, be sure to continuously check out the sidebar for all upcoming watch-alongs. That includes AEW Dynasty this coming Sunday. We'll be live 15 minutes before the show goes on the air for a watch-along and a post-show. Of course, WrestleMania is coming up. We'll be doing both nights of WrestleMania. In the leak and the build-up to WrestleMania, we'll be doing lots of watch-alongs as well, whether it be SmackDown, whether it be Stand and Deliver, maybe the Raw after WrestleMania as well. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, click the notification bell. You'll be notified when we go live. I appreciate everyone for tuning in, and I'll speak to you again very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.